Hello, I'm Shashank from GoFodu.com, and in this video we start by learning some fundamentals of line graphs, and over the course of video I'll try to make you comfortable with these types of visual depiction of data. This is part 1 of the 2-part video, and by the time you are finished with the second part you will be able to solve many questions from line graph just by sheer observation. So, a typical line graph is shown on your screen, and we start by understanding the common question type of this topic, growth rates in line graphs. Y-axis of the given graph represents sales of 3 companies A, B and C from the year 2016 to 2018. Years are represented on X-axis. Blue line with circles represent sale for company A. Orange with squares represent B and grey with triangles represent C. Now before we move ahead, let's talk about a key characteristic of line, that is its slope. Slope, as we all know, is the inclination or the steepness of a particular line. We also understand that more is the steepness or inclination of the line, more is the slope, and vice versa. Now, the growth rate totally depends on 2 factors. First one is slope, and the second factor is the base on which the growth rate is calculated. To understand growth rate completely, it is mandatory that we first understand these 2 factors really well. And along with that, we also understand the difference between growth and growth rate. Let's start by calculating the growth in sales for company A in the year 2017. Growth is simply increase in the value of anything over the previous value. So, we'll take the total sales of A in 2017 and subtract the total sales of A in 2016. 25 minus 10, which is equal to 15. Now, we move further to calculate the growth rate of company A in 2017. Let's make a table. In this, we will fill growth rates of A, B and C for the given years. Growth rate is simply the percentage increase in the growth. So for A in 2017, it will be growth, that is 25 minus 10 divided by the base 10 and multiplied by 100 as we are calculating the percentage. Now it comes out as 150%. We are simply calculating percentage change, nothing else. So, 2 very important learnings. Growth is different than growth rate, and growth rate in a particular year is always calculated with respect to the previous year. So, we cannot determine the growth or growth rate for any of the 3 companies for the year 2016, as data for 2015 is not available. Similarly, growth rate of A in 2018 would be 35 minus 25 upon 25 into 100, that is 40%. So, these are the respective growth rates for all the 3 companies for different years. You can pause the video and calculate them yourself. Okay, I hope that we are now comfortable with growths and growth rates. Now, let's see how to visually compare the growth rates without doing all this calculation, without even using the pen. If we look at the company A and B in the year 2016 to 2017, we see that slope of A is clearly greater than slope of B. You can see line of A is steeper than line of B. And if we check the actual growth rate of respective companies in the table, we see that growth rate of A in 17 is significantly greater than that of B. So, a very important learning, steeper slope results in higher growth rate, but don't forget the another factor, base. When the base is same, steeper slope means higher growth rate. Next, we compare A and B from 2017 to 2018. Here we see that these both lines have the same growth as well as slope. But as we can see in the table, growth rate of B is little higher than that of A. This happens due to the second factor, base, which brings the difference in the growth rate. A and B both have same growth. Same slope means same growth. So, in growth rate calculation, numerator is same for both. Now, B has lower base than A. So, a smaller value will come in the denominator for B, thereby making the growth rate of B higher than that of A in 2018. Second learning for comparison, when the slope is same, lower base will result in higher growth rate. Similar to this comparison, if we compare the growth rate for B in 2017 and 2018, we see that slope is same, but growth rate, as you can see in the table, it is higher in 2017 than in 18, which basically happens because of the lower base in 2016. One more point that we can learn here is, in an increasing straight line, growth rate will decrease in successive years. Now, let's analyze the growth rates of company C in different years. Here, we can see that slope in the period 2017-18 is greater than slope in 16-17. But in 2016-17, the base is lower. Both the factors are involved, and difference between the slopes as well as bases is marginally low. So in this case, it will be a good idea to calculate the growth rate manually as we did in the table. Similarly, if we observe the slopes for company A and C from 17 to 18, we can clearly see that A has steeper line and hence a greater slope. This is a plus point for growth rate of A. But C, on the other hand, has much lower base, which is a plus point for growth rate of C. So, in this case also, it is better to calculate the actual growth rates and then compare. Look in the table, 40% and 42.8%. The difference is marginal. So, there are two factors, base and slope, and you have to answer depending on which of the factor is prevalent. If both factors are equally strong, then do the calculation. So, these were all the fundamentals. Let's summarize all the things that we have learned so far. Growth and growth rates are two different entities. Next, we saw that growth rate in a particular year is always calculated with respect to the previous year. This is the reason we were not able to calculate the growth rate for 2016. Next, in an increasing straight line, growth rate will decrease in successive years. This we saw when we compared growth rate of B in 2017 to growth rate in 2018. Slope same, growth same, but still growth rate in 17 was higher due to lower base. Next, we understood that when the base is same, steeper line or say greater slope means higher growth. It was in the comparison of A and B from the year 2016 to 2017. And at last, we figured out that when slope is same, lower base means higher growth rate. This is very well related to point number 3. We also saw that when slope is same, actual growth from one reading to the next reading is same. Now, let's take an example to get complete hold over this topic. In this example, sales of 3 companies are given but this time it is given for 5 years from 2014 to 2018. Let's directly look at the questions which are asked. Okay, so the first question says that if the growth rate of company B in 2016 and 17 is X and Y, then what is the relationship between the two? This highlighted region is to be discussed. It's an increasing straight line, and we know that in such line, lower base results in higher growth rate. So, rate is higher in 2016 than in 2017. That is, X is greater than Y. Next question. It is basically asking us to compare the growths and growth rates of A and B between the year 2014 and 2016. That means this region. Here we see that these lines have same slope, but B has lower base. So growth rate of B in this case will be higher than growth rate of A. Growth rate is not equal. But we also saw earlier that when slope is same, actual growth from one reading to the next reading remains the same. So option B is the correct answer. Next, growth rate of sales of A is highest in which year? Now here, instead of directly jumping to look for growth rates of all the years, it's better that we eliminate few options and then look for it. Option A is 2014, for which calculation of growth rate is not possible as previous data is not available. So A is eliminated. Among 2015 and 16, we know that 15 should have higher growth rate as it's an increasing line. So option C is also eliminated. Now we just need to compare for 2015 and 2017. Here we can easily observe that there is not much difference between the slope of these two lines. But if we look at the base of both the lines, for 2015 it's much less than base for 2017. So it's understood that growth rate for 2015 will be definitely greater than that in 2017. So the answer will be option B, 2015. Next, decline of growth rate for C is highest in which year? Now this is same as the previous question. If you have clearly understood the previous part, you should straight away focus on 2 years. 2016 as slope is steep and 2018 as the base is low. And just like previous question, we can directly solve this. The difference in slope is marginal. You can check it visually. The steepness is almost same, but the difference in bases is huge. Base in 2016 is double that of 2018. So, highest decline in growth rate will be in the year 2018. Option D. Let's have a look at the last question for this set. In this question, ratio of average sales of B to average sales of C is asked. Pretty easy, right? Check each year's value on y-axis, add all of them and divide by 5 to get the average. We will do the same thing but with a twist. We consider the one division on y-axis as 1 unit. This will simplify the calculation to a great extent. Now we need to calculate the average sales of B. So for B, we know that it's an increasing straight line. So the growth is constant for each year, or we can say each successive value increases by a common difference. This we have seen in arithmetic progression, that the average is going to be the middle term. This point, this particular point would be the average. Let's say this question appeared in exam and there are no grid lines in the graph and you are having trouble in finding the point's exact value on computer screen. Here's an advice. Use your pen, put it horizontally on the point, see where it matches the y-axis and get its value. Average sales of V comes out as 60,000. If we look at in terms of units, it will be exactly 3 units. Now we look for the average of C. Instead of actual values, we calculate it in terms of units. We start from 2014, that is 4.5. Then we have 3.5 in 2015, then 2 in 2016, plus 1.5, and finally 1, which gives us 12.5 as the answer. Average will be 12.5 divided by 5, 2.5. Finally, ratio comes out as 3 by 2.5, or you can also say it as 6 by 5. That is option B. If average is asked in graph and value on y-axis are pretty huge for addition, go with this approach. Assume each division as 1 unit and calculate the average. With this, we will end this video. I hope I was able to make you comfortable with this topic. In the next video, we will discuss one very interesting question for further clarity. For more such videos, visit our website www.gofodu.com. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching.